Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and this is another episode of Ridiculous Loadout. As you may already know, this is a series I started way back when in the Battlefield 3 days, basically whoring myself out for cheap views, running a suggested loadout from one of you in the comments section. Now, mostly, this is a not so tactical series where most of the loadouts are either troll or bad or just plain ugly looking. Really, I get a chance to try out a kit, a combination that I haven't thought of before, and maybe have good results with it. Mostly not though. So, today, Ben Davidson suggested a weapon I haven't really used before. A loadout built around the Ace 53 SV DMR rifle, a suppressor, a 4x magnification scope, and he didn't specify which scope to use, so I used the Chinese one, and any other stuff I want. Now, as I said, I opted for the Chinese 4x scope on it because for some reason I had more success with it than the ACOG, which is also 4x magnification, I believe. I don't know, might just be the crosshairs, might be that they're thinner somehow, and, you know, don't cover up as much of the target as the chevron on the ACOG scope, but, you know, and generally, I've said this before, but I actually dislike medium range scopes in these FPS games, because they somehow look weird, especially with the gun barrel visible on the gun in front of you for some reason, you know, when you look through the scope. Well, whatever. I also didn't equip anything else on the Ace 53 outside the suppressor, so no foregrip or anything like that, and I'll explain my thinking here in a second. Now, I'm sure you all know by now that the Ace 53 SV is in real life a variant of the Ace assault rifles developed by the Israeli manufacturer IWI and also manufactured by Indomil in Colombia, and these are based on the Galil family of assault rifles. These make an appearance for the first time in Battlefield 4, and you already know that there are several variants of the Ace assault rifle in the game, because you can't throw a dead communist in the game without hitting someone using the Ace 23. It's just that good, and I mean, it puts out a semi-truck worth of stopping power, much like the Scar H. But the Ace 53 SV, which I'm having to deal with in this particular loadout, is classified a DMR in the game, and thus is an annoyance to use at best. I'm sure you also know Battlefield 4 has reclassified the DMRs from Battlefield 3 to be used by all classes, thus giving it several problems to deal with right out of the box, whereas in Battlefield 3 they were obviously only limited to the Recon class. Now, the DMR doesn't have access to any high power scope in Battlefield 4. That is any scope above 4x magnification, really. And also in Battlefield 4, it's pretty badly balanced. And interesting side note, any scope above 4x magnification will also give you a scope glint in Battlefield 4. So, you know, that is why you will never see a scope glint from a DMR user. Also in Battlefield 4, it has a below average stopping power for such a slow rate of fire semi-automatic rifle. Its rate of fire is crap, to say the least, and its accuracy is terrible, especially at follow-up shots. Now, you may have heard me say a few months back in a video that DICE actually patched the DMR somewhat, finally, finally seeing, I'm sure, that their weapon stats, in their weapon stats, that they are such terrible guns that, no one actually used them. But even after the patch, the DMRs really can't hold their own in a firefight. DICE is promising to patch the DMRs again in the God patch coming out for Battlefield 4 mid-September. That's supposed to contain all the fixes and the knowledge gained from the CTE. So, we will all see then, I guess, how much they've improved. Right now, as it stands, the DMR is crap outside, very few applications. There's just no reason to use them in Battlefield 4 at all. So, the Ace 53 SV being a DMR, as I said, it's pretty much good at only one thing, and that's medium range engagements. Engagements where you as the shooter can find yourself separated from the enemy in distance a bit, so he doesn't spot you immediately, giving you that crucial element of surprise, because let's face it, with the Ace 53 SV you're gonna need all the help you can get. It would also make sense that if you could break camp on a different level from your enemy, like on a roof, let's say, where you can be reasonably sure that you're not going to be surrounded and shot in the ass. In that way, I think domination or TDM maps, especially multi-level ones like Zavod 311, Siege of Shanghai, and even Silk Road and Operation Firestorm is the way to go, because you can just sit on a roof somewhere and take careful aim at someone below you, which also gives you reasonable cover between follow-up shots to reset the recoil, and we all know the DMR is crap at follow-up shots. Careful though, there is bound to be one or two guys with the XM25 Airburst who eventually figure out what's what. Speaking of the XM25, I found that because the Ace 53 SV has so little backup ammo in Battlefield 4, the only real good way to run it is with the support class and ammo boxes, because let's face it, you will be spamming lead like there's no tomorrow, missing most of the time obviously, and swearing in Russian, English. But according to the technical specs of the Ace 53 SV in Battlefield 4, it isn't stellar even by DMR standards. It does a maximum damage of 45 at 15 meters, which drops off to 38 at 80 meters, which is okay by DMR standards, but its rate of fire absolutely sucks at a painful 260 rounds per minute. The only characteristic where it could be average at best is its muzzle velocity of 560 meters a second standard barrel, but using a suppressor and subsonic ammo that drops to a pitiful 320 meters a second. So what this means is that you will have a ton of trouble landing a follow-up shots on target, not only because of the crappy DMR accuracy for follow-up shots, but also because the enemy will move trying to figure out who's shooting at them, and you will have to lead a lot more compensating for the slower bullet. It also means a lot more bullet drop over distance because it is so slow. Its recoil up is a standard for a DMR 0.5 degrees per shot, but with the first shot multiplier of 2.1, and this being a semi-automatic weapon, so each shot's upward recoil effectively becomes 1.05 because it's multiplied by the first shot multiplier. It's essentially the first shot every time. Its side-to-side recoil is also nothing good to write home about, and like most DMRs in Battlefield 4, it is uneven at negative 0.1 left and 0.3 right. Its hipfire accuracy isn't that great either, but then again, this isn't the sort of weapon you want to hip fire, because you know then you'd already be dead. I mean, if you're hip firing at someone, it usually assumes a panic situation and probably means you're in a close quarter fight and you're trying to go on the offensive in close quarters with this shitty weapon and its stats. Then I mean, you're gonna be the only one who will end up offending yourself. Speaking of which, the suppressor worsens the hipfire accuracy a little bit when not moving, so the suppressor is definitely not something to equip with this weapon in Battlefield 4. But, I mean, what I'm saying is that there are moments when a DMR might come in handy. I mean, if you give me a DMR and a rooftop and some ammo, I'll put down the sort of streaks that Frederick Zoller put down in Inglourious Bastards. So I hope you enjoyed this movie, and now because I don't feel like suffering alone, Ben Davidson must also run this loadout and upload it to YouTube, and I'll accept a link down below in the comments section. So thanks for watching, please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one, and remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.